company, and we were enjoying the food, the fun, and the fellowship, and they decided to go home. And as they went home, I decided to just chill out, relax on the couch, and watch some TV. But something captivated me as I focused my eyes on the television screen. Something arrested me. I wasn't watching CNN. I wasn't watching MSNBC. I wasn't even watching Fox News, but I was watching the Cartoon Network. Yeah, I was watching Cartoon Network. I was watching Cartoon Network, full of suspense and on edge. On the edge of my seat, I was watching SpongeBob SquarePants. I was watching SpongeBob SquarePants. And in this episode, SpongeBob was in a fight. I'd never seen anything like this before. I was on the edge of my seat seeing how SpongeBob was going to get out of this one. SpongeBob was in a fight with a giant, and the giant was bigger and stronger than him, and SpongeBob was all by himself. If you allow me to preach SpongeBob for 2.5 minutes, every now and then when you find yourself in a fight, recognize that friends will be few. Friends will be few. Patrick was nowhere to be found. Patrick wasn't there. And so SpongeBob was ready to give up. He was ready to throw in the towel because he recognized that there was no way that he could beat this giant. There was no way that he could fight match for match with this giant. And so finally SpongeBob got irritated. He got frustrated, recognizing that he could not beat the giant. And he told the giant, he said, "Look, if you're going to beat me up, beat me up. If you're going to hit me, but I'm just ready for this fight to be over." SpongeBob closed his eyes, ready for the giant to hit him. The giant reared back and hit SpongeBob. SpongeBob opened up his eyes again. He said, "Look, don't play with me. I said if you're going to hit me. I'm just ready for this fight to be over. I can't handle this anxiousness. I can't handle this nervousness." SpongeBob closed his eyes and waiting for the giant to hit him. The giant reared back and hit SpongeBob. At this point, SpongeBob is frustrated, he's agitated, he's irritated. SpongeBob said, "Look, if you're going to hit me, but I am tired of fighting with you. I'm tired of dealing with this." He said, "If you're going to knock me out, knock me out." SpongeBob closed his eyes again. The giant reared back to hit SpongeBob. At that very moment, SpongeBob opened up his eyes and recognized something. SpongeBob recognizes that the hits did not have its intended effect. The hits did not have its intended effect. He saw when he opened up his eyes that the hits were not hurting him, but it was stretching him. The hits were not hurting him, but it was stretching him. And so finally, SpongeBob stood back with a smirk on his face, looked at the giant and said, "I must be made from a spongy material." Come here, let me talk to you for a minute. Every now and then you will find yourself in the middle of a fight. Every now and then you will find yourself up against the wall, but it's not until you stand flat-footed and face your giant that you recognize what you're made of. It's not until you stand flat-footed and face your giant that you recognize that the hits did not come to hurt you, but they came to stretch you. If you can only recognize that what does not kill you makes you stronger, you can look at your giant and say, "Giant, if you want to fight, it's going down. If you want to get it, it's going down," because you recognize that God will keep you. You recognize that God will provide for you. You recognize that God will protect you. Is there anybody in here who can testify that God will protect you in the middle of a fight? Is there anybody here that can testify every now and then, find consolation that the fights did not come to hurt you, but they came to stretch you? Amen. Square your shoulders back when you get ready to fight the giant. Square your shoulders back, lift up your head and tell your giant, if you want to fight, we can fight. If you want to fight, it's going down. See, every now and then you may have to fight in the hospital room. Every now and then you may have to fight in the courtroom. Every now and then you may have to fight when you're home all by yourself. But how many of you know that God will keep you, that God God will sustain you. Something you have got to fight no matter where you are. Is there anybody in here who can testify that when the devil decided to attack your family, when the devil decided to attack your children, when the devil decided to attack your home, he got a mess on his hands? He got a mess on his hands. You need to be able to tell the devil, if you think you're going to destroy my career, if you think you're going to give me a nervous breakdown, if you think you're going to pillage and plunder what God has promised me, you got a fight on your hands. You got a fight on your hands. In fact, high five your neighbor, tell him he got a fight on his hands. He has a fight